think we should talk about 9/11 and our response. So,
not our response,
but our response for the common defense.
The United States' response.
Yes, the response. What was it tainted by, or did we do the right thing?
Well, I had no problem with going into Afghanistan.
Well, you know, it's interesting about Afghanistan. I find that we went into Afghanistan. I agree with Afghanistan.
So we're in agreement.
We're in agreement about Afghanistan, but it's interesting to go back and look at the history that really Afghanistan was a blowback from not doing what we were supposed to do during the Soviet crisis. If you look at the Charlie Wilson's War movie, which I love,
okay,
which was the kind of congressman I'd love to be.
Okay.
But, so our response into Afghanistan was a legitimate one, but why didn't we finish it? What were we doing?
Fill people in who haven't seen Charlie Wilson's War. Where do you think we screwed up previously?
Well, we screwed up the end game. I mean, we and the Saudis, I'll have you know, financed through Pakistan and cooperation with Israel to move the Soviets out, to provide Stinger missiles to the future Taliban. And once we won that war, even though the Afghanistan people didn't realize that we helped win that war, nor did the Pakistanis understand that we helped them, where we helped the Pakistanis, we didn't...
But, I mean, the Russians weren't the first to occupy Afghanistan, and Afghanistan's been a mess for as long as there's been an Afghanistan, which isn't all that long. So Afghanistan was a construct that was sort of manufactured that never really worked.
The same thing. I mean, if you look at Pakistan from their perspective, and we didn't do what we were supposed to do. We left them high and dry. We sell them military assets that don't do anything good for them, and they go out and develop their own nuclear weapons. So, you know,
same could be said for what we did in Iraq. Same for what we did in Iran. Our foreign policy track record's been kind of pathetic, if you really want to know the truth.
Terrible.
Right.
Terrible. So, well, we all know what it's about. It's about oil and whatever, the control. But was it the right thing to do? And now look at what we've done here. I mean, you could see what we did when we went into Iraq, that we were going to both run into a couple things. We were going to crush the economy, and we were going to make...
Whose economy? Ours or theirs?
Ours.
Ours, yes.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't put the two together, you do put the two together. Yes, our economy would be a lot better off if we weren't spending
our blood and treasure in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, we're spending a lot of money over there.
But what happens is you destroy our economy, and what do young people have the only thing to do? They can only join the military and make some money doing that. So we're fostering a war, or a cycle of people going into war that when they come back home, they have no jobs to come back home to. So all they can do is do what?
Either stay in.
Or eventually they become deluded and maybe end up being somewhat like, oh, the biggest terrorist ever hit America prior to 9/11?
Prior to 9/11?
Timothy McVeigh!
Yeah.
Well,
we all saw that coming.
Yes, just wait till they figure out how to steal, you know, UAVs and fly those around America.
Well, there was an interesting story today that apparently the Taliban figured out how to look at our UAVs in real time, and it only cost them $29 software to download the unencrypted video feeds out of our predators.
Well, that's the point.
That's handled out at right pat, by the way. Good job, guys.
Eventually, you could see all this stuff coming. Eventually, when we start using UAVs, and people will want to control those things, and you know, instead of dealing with the issues directly, we like, you know, if all you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So the point about it is that maybe we should have tried to figure out what the reason why we were attacked in 9/11.
No.
Maybe our policies, or institute something different. In other words, geez, it was Saudi Arabians that went after us, but we can't go after them because, well,
they have all the oil.
They have all the oil and the money.
But you know, it comes down to over and over one simple thing here. Is we're building schools now in Afghanistan and Iraq while our schools are suffering. And wasn't that the pledge of this president, was to get us out of war, and instead?
Oh, well, maybe we should talk about Obama and what we got sold tomorrow.
Maybe.
But let's discuss Mr. Obama.
Let's get back to, you know, how much can we afford to keep investing in these wars?
I don't know. Let's ask China.
What's an investment in a war worth? What's an investment in weapon systems? We talk about all these defense contractors here. What do weapons really buy you? Better weapons? Yeah, you can win now. It escalates things. But if we have nothing left here, we're not going to be able to afford anything in the future.
Oh, so we're not having a defense for the common good, are we? Isn't that what the Constitution says? The common good?
Yeah, well...
It's commonly good for Raji Soin and Mike Turner, but is it commonly good for us?
I'm starting to wonder because, at the kind of money we're spending on these weapon systems, it's exactly what Eisenhower warned us about as he left office back in 1960.
Well,
the military-industrial complex.
We get what we get. We eroded public education. We eroded the value of history.
Makes it easy to recruit soldiers.
So if you want America to be third world, look in the mirror. You're getting what you get.
It's funny. I wrote a post, is America becoming a third world country quite a long time ago? And it's gotten a lot of hits lately.
Yay! Enjoy!
On that note, we'll see ya.